Let's go, dude. Knowledge.
Who are you talking to?
It's Jake from State Farm.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Look, brothers.
All rise. Order in court. Creed just got up from a nice nap, so I'm ready to go.
Nice. Nothing wrong with that. I had one after the show yesterday. I stretched out and just drifted off. Beautiful time. Beautiful. If everybody was asleep like Creed last night, we had a chase. If you're a fan of chases, make sure you check that out. I know, Sheiky Bebe.
I know, it's sad.
He was probably one of the funniest people in the wrestling business. So, but he was like 81. He had a great life, man.
Especially with the resurgence with him on Howard, like that became such a meme. His stock went up a lot at that point. I mean, not that he was huge back in the day with WWE. That's one I even.
Yeah. Gave him a chance to tour around the country a little bit with the comedians. I think he was with the Killers of Comedy. He went out.
Yeah.
So
yeah, and I was sound asleep. I was telling Mikey, so for the chase last night, sound asleep, heard everything going off. So I got up, my old man thing, went out on the porch, had a cigarette, and I pop it on, and I say, "Oh, it's already done." I'm like, well, I can't blame that one on me. So I watched for a few minutes, and then on to something else, and went right back to bed. Sound asleep. Woke up this morning. I'm like, wow, what did Mikey do after?
Mikey did an hour stand up after it was over.
Jesus. So
yeah, it was crazy. One ended and another went straight to another one.
Like
which it was a lot of fun. Had a good crowd last night. Did a lot of good stuff. But you know what? It's time for court. It's not time for reminiscing.
Yes.
Not right now. We'll get to reminiscing later.
So we got a TPO today, right?
We do, Creed, with a judge we had never had before.
Okay. Right.
An older gentleman who had covered things in Thurston County the other day, and he had said over a bunch of stuff, and then finally he had one, and I was like, "Uh-oh, this is our moment." And we were able to grab one just in time for today. Neighbors, Creed, we hate them. They're bad. They're awful. Nobody gets along with their neighbors, but these two neighbors in particular really don't. So when you watch this, I don't want to sway anybody from one side to the other.
Okay. All right.
But remember then when judges say, don't make faces?
Judge will be two bones. Thank you. Late fee. I love that. Thank you.
And thank you. Your $2 will continue on Blue Shirt Day for the rest of the day.
Right.
But yeah, look at this lady's faces. Just
all right.
That's what I'm gonna say. Let's look at her faces.
Hey.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, yoo-hoo.
Time to start court. Hello.
You'll notice this judge got one person on Zoom, and she's the respondent.
All right, Mr. Osaka, you filed this
Mr. Osaka
petition on the 26th of May. It looks like a temporary order was issued at that time. And Ms. McMahon, you were served on the 29th of May. Is that correct?
Yes.
Heir to the WWE fortune.
All right. So are we ready to go forward today?
I believe so.
All right. Would you each raise your right hand, please? I'm going to swear you in for your testimony.
Okay. So
Each swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth.
In court.
Yes, I do.
All right. Have a seat, Mr. Saka.
Nice new emojis. I like that. Very quick. Don't forget we got a case channel tonight, 5:30. Right? It's Wednesday.
Yeah. We got a case tonight at 5:30. By the way, quick reference here. See that tree thing she's got there with the leaves and stuff?
Yes.
We have that in our bathroom, on the wall. Did she particularly put herself in front of this wall that has all the family
Oh,
and
yes.
love and
Yeah,
this,
it's
that, and
play.
the other on the wall.
What does yours say? Like live life?
Oh, no,
shit?
no. Mine doesn't have any of the words. It just has the
Oh.
tree, like the trees growing in the bathroom. It has like birds, I think, around it. I think.
I can see.
I feel like I'm in the forest pooping every time.
I bet you do. But yeah, I think that's a family play. If not, she should have because it's
And look at her outfit. Could she be any more conservative?
That's that one. Yeah, it
Maybe
speaks volumes,
religious.
huh?
Yeah.
I have an exhibit that would like to, I have a copy with me and I would like to show this exhibit to you.
Have you served those to Ms. McMahon? All right, let me see them. I won't comment on them.
This is there.
Hey.
See?
Well, this is coming
It's
with
reading it.
sort of,
That's good.
some sort
Look,
of something.
she's already got a furrowed brow. She seems like a real nice lady, right? I mean, she looks nice, seems nice. Very very demure type of attitude. She's got
You
pearl
filed
earrings.
some of this already with court, did you not?
She loves her family.
See, I don't get really nice lady vibes from her at all.
Yeah.
She's got kind of a mean mug on her at the moment. And since you pointed out, and since actually a couple of you have said about the little House of the Prairie type dress. Well, Courtney, we appreciate that.
Oh, thank you.
Sorry, it feels like we haven't done court in forever. I don't
It does.
Days off. And
It does. It really does.
All right, Ms. McMahon, Mr. Saka handed me some documents. I believe they were essentially the same documents that were included as exhibits to his petition.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so Mr. Saka, go forward.
Saka to me.
Donna Luce. That's a great name, by the way.
Donna Luce is how I have my Mexican pancakes.
No, with nachos.
Mhm.
Thank you. Fine,
Donna. Thank you.
Mr.
I'm here to come and ask for permanent restraint.
Oh my gosh, sorry guys. Amazon Girl 10 gifted memberships. Hallelujah.
I stopped too much. No, we're just very thankful.
Order against the respondent. I've been suffering in silence and I'm fear for my life. Respondent has been annoying me, harassing me, tormenting me, making fun of my accent, and the list just go on. Sometimes I have to go inside to avoid that. When I'm outside, she come out several times. When I want to mow my lawn, she will come out and trying to mow my lawn. I have to go inside. She's trying to start something. To start with, I just bought the property next to her a year ago, Your Honor, and I'm not even moving to the property yet. I'm still doing remodeling on the house. The house is not in good condition. I bought it as it is. After moving to the house on the 28th of May, after I closed the house, I came to the property and I saw her husband, the respondent husband, and I introduced myself to him and he introduced himself to me. So the first thing I mentioned was I noticed the limbs of the tree causing my gutter to break down and the moss and the other damage to the roof. I was a little bit disappointed that happened, that their trees along the property line causes that. So I just mentioned to the husband, I said, I would like to cut this tree down that is going over my property. He said
very quickly, first of all, yes, he does have a slight accent that I could find funny at times. So far, so she's tormenting him every time he goes out to mow the lawn. It's not. There was
I
something.
mean, his exact words is, Your Honor, I'm suffering in silence. This man's being tormented by this lady. He's trying to cut his grass. She's making faces. Their tree from the other property is coming over and assaulting his property. I mean, there's all kinds of things going on. By the way, she has such a pleasant demeanor. She laughed a second ago when he said he was suffering in silence. I just want him to say, hello, Robin, this is your dad.
That is fine. He said you can cut it. So, and I just said, that's okay. He's trying to introduce me to the neighbor. I'm a kind of a shyful person. I don't like to meet people right away. So I said, no, not right now. So then shortly after that, in June 8th, I started noticing foul odor from a property line fence along my property. As the odor is so stinks, and I said, what is this? And so I just don't know what to do. And I just say, well, if I ask this guy this another question again, he might take it offensive. Since that day when he walked in front of my house, he would just ignore walking his dog. He would not even wave or anything like that. I think it's a good neighborhood thing to do. So I don't know how to approach him. So I called the city, and the city said there's nothing in the law that says
either beer or pee from somebody that really needs to hydrate. One of the
somebody very dehydrated. I think maybe it was a little bit of maybe some bourbon of some sort. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be great?
they can put their dog waste along their property line, and I say, okay, that's fine. So I
Dog
call
waste.
another neighbor across the street, Mr. Borison, to interstate on my behalf to try to talk to them because I don't know how to approach them. I talked to Mr. Borison. Mr. Borison wanted to talk to them. The next day, Mr. Boris talked to them. This woman saw me. We live on the chain link fence before I put my.
He does look
He
very
looks
cute.
like, I'm sorry, sir, your accent's far too thick for me to understand a word you just said.
I
You start
think
again?
I think I'd ask him to slow down a little bit and reiterate a couple of things that I'm not 100% sure about, but I did get the
I get
dog
the
going on
idea with the dog waste. We had neighbors at one point that had a couple of really big dogs, and during the summertime, and when they would go outside and poop and stuff, it would be stifling when you'd walk out there on a hot day.
Oh yeah.
It just really smells bad. So I get what he's saying. I get what
At the
he's
same
saying.
time, though, dogs really don't know what the property line is. So there's
Right.
that.
You can't get him to go poop
I mean,
the other way.
if he says anything of importance, I promise you, we'll dissect it and figure it out. So far, he's just making accusations, basically.
Nothing too crazy.
Yeah, I think we've nailed the highlights so far. I think.
A wooden fence, right? The fence used to be like this, it's a chain link fence. I can see through everybody's yard and everything. She came to me and said, I don't want to appreciate you going to other neighbors and tell my business to other neighbor. If you have questions with me, come to me directly and tell me directly. And I said, I'm trying to avoid conflict. Yeah, that's why I asked Mr. Borison to intercede. And then she just keep going and say, because I didn't come to her first to ask for her to remove the dog waste, she's not going to do anything about it. She's going to, unless I come to her first to ask her for permission to remove the dog waste. And I said, what is this? So I'm now to avoid commotion or other further conflict, I just ignore it. The smell.
A moment, Mr. Saka, before you go forward, let me ask the question. Your house is back to each other, is that right?
Next to each other, Your Honor.
On the side?
On the side. Their property on this side, my property is on this side. Next to each other, Your Honor.
All right. Couldn't somebody submitted a map of a property, and I could see your property identified, but I couldn't tell where Ms. McMahon's property was. All right, go ahead.
Yes,
Sorry.
so I called Mr. Borison, who live across from the street from me directly, and I said, well, can you help me to interject? And you want to talk to them? As I've said, the problem started, and then the husband come next day and talk to me, say, well, I'm busy at work, I will clean the mess, I'm so tired when I come home from work. And so I said, that's fine. A month go by, since June, July. In October, as I said, I was doing remodel on the house. I had the countertop people installing the countertop on my kitchen. As I was looking at my kitchen window and I saw the respondent throwing debris over my fence. Some of the pickets I used to do for my fence, she's throwing back to my yard. She do it one time, she do it second time, she do it third time. And I said, what is this? So after the contractor left, I went down to the back. She's swimming with her.
I was just gonna say what kind of debris, but he said it might have been something to do with the contractor, though. If that's the case, that's.
I mean, I'm trying to figure out why the debris would be in her yard. At first, I was thinking, she's limbs fell in my yard. Let me just throw them in his yard, type thing. But maybe something to do with the contractor. He said he was having a hard time getting the contractor to do any work.
Oh God.
Doing some yard work or swimming, and you can see through the yard because it's changing things. And I said, why are you throwing stuff on my yard? And so he said, you're trying to kill my dog. You're doing this you're trying to harass me. You're doing
Trying to
this
kill my
because
dog.
we're a military family. And I said, this is not true. I'm just doing this because the smell I can't breathe. I have to put a mask on. Sometimes when I have to go to my property to do yard work. And I said, can you just remove this? And he said, no, until I come for permission. She taunting me and all that stuff, making fun of me. When I went to talk to on October 17, after this incident, she threw this stuff on my fence. I went
He's
to
throwing up. It smells so bad.
But he has to wear a mask now because it's so bad.
Yeah, man, this is
Oh, yeah,
a very intoxicating aroma. Got to put on a mask. She loves it.
tell Mr. Borison again what happened. So Mr. Borison, I said, this is exactly what I encountered with my neighbor. As I was talking to Mr. Borison, respondent jumped. Whenever I'm outside trying to talk to the neighbors or so, she will eavesdrop from me. She will intentionally come out of her property. She just jumped out of her house. She just launched into me to Mr. Borison's property driveway. She was just shouting at me, it's illegal to make a false statement to the police and all this stuff. And I said, what is this? What is going on? So I left. I just don't want to. So I left back to my property. I left. So that incident, I just pretended to sweep under the rug. And then again, on January 23rd, I came to the property. I showed you the picture. My fence appeared to be vandalized. Somebody pushed from the same property, same side with the respondent. So somebody pushed my fence over, and the wooden fence, the pickets, somebody forced it, and I called the police. And
Mikey, fence problems just like you.
Look, man, this is a trend, a horrible tragedy. I already feel bad for this guy. Somebody's pushing over his fence. We've all been there. 20 turd. We were all there.
I mean, he's got proof too.
When I talked to her, she said she told the police there's a wind that knocked it down.
Oh,
I put enough barrier protection for the fence to hold it. Plus, they have a shed next to where they have the dog fixes that is supposed to be a barrier protected against the wind to come. It appears that from this side where their property is, somebody pushed the fence and the pickets, everything kind of vandalized. And I said, okay, that's fine. I will fix it. 2 days later, after I do that, the same thing happened again. So I was embarrassed to call the police again about the same thing. I said, okay, this is a lost cause. So I just keep fixing it when that happened. And then on May 7th, this is the one that's really balling and starting to feel threatened to my life. I was sitting waiting for the contractor outside. She came outside after I was already in my driveway waiting for the contractors trying to start a lawnmower. A lawnmower couldn't start. And then she went back to the house, and then Mr. Borison, the guy I repeatedly asked to come to the house to help me intercede. She waved him down. He went to his front of our house. They're trying to fix the lawnmower. Everything was okay. And then as I was checking my cell phone to see if the guy texts me about whether he's coming or not, or so trying to check my message. She just yelled from her properly, stop videotaping me, stop taping me, stop recording me, stop. She just started making all these accusations that I'm videotaping, taking a picture of a minor child that I saw. And I said, what is this?
That's a weird
I
accusation.
didn't respond. It's one day all the time, all the Baba
Yeah.
attacks she's been doing to me because she's a female. I never respond back to her. I never say anything back. She always attacked me. So I just keep quiet. I said, she just keep attacking me. So I called the police. And I said, this is what is going on with my neighbor. And the police said they will send something. So later on, the officer didn't say they are so busy, they didn't come. The officer, Ben, called me on my cell phone, say we're so busy, but what is this? He said, if things escalate, call us back. I said, okay. And I said, officer, do you have a case number? She gave me an incident number. I wrote it down. While we were still waiting for the...
Gary, thank you.
I mean, we've all heard that one where the police are too busy to show up at your house. I mean, that happens.
Gary, where are you?
New one, Gary. I love it. All right. Good deal. By the way, Ragu Monkey, I was saying last week, my wife and I spent an entire weekend with you, and you didn't even know it. We were watching you at the meetings, and my God, I told Mikey he's got to go through those and watch some of them because they are just
Gems.
God, they're so good. We just sat there and we enjoyed every bit of it. I'll just say that.
Contractor.
Oh, by the way, accusing this dude of taking pictures of minor children. Did I get that right?
Taking pictures of her and the minor child. He calls the police. Police call him back, say, hey, bud, we're too busy. But if things get any worse, calls back.
Let us know. And he's mowing over the dog poop, probably.
Friends came. I often show the picture. Male friends and a female friend. They came and joined her on the driveway. And this male friend, on the when she was cursing me about the stuff before, the male friend also used talking about guns or something like that. So these are the female friend, and this one I don't know if I'm showing.
Hold it up. Yeah, I saw that.
So they both came.
I like with each piece of evidence. Do you notice how she gets real close to the Zoom, like she's
she's
trying to
look at it. Yeah,
she's trying to see it, trying to get an idea. So I find that is kind of guilty, but I mean, I understand you want to see what he's showing. But
look, he's coming with receipts, which is great because we see it all the time. People come in, they've got something to say, but they don't have any kind of proof. And he's been calling the police. He's been doing his due diligence.
Right.
But at the same time, she's making faces like agreeing with him with a few things. Like when he's like, she said, if you're going to talk crap about me to everybody, come to me and say it. I could see her saying
And
that.
they don't even know what happened. She's telling some story, and they start attacking me again. Start taking picture of us and all that stuff. And I said, what is this? So I just left it. She made some angry, hatred statement that I didn't even want to repeat. When they were together, I didn't ignore. Later on that evening, then she came to the property line. I was outside. She said, I hate you, I'll kill you. I said, what is this? And I feel
very quickly, I'm sorry I have to say this just because Ragu Monkey's here. There's a moment where we lost it, Ragu, when you were there. He was sitting up on his side. You said that you used to hang out with him and his cousin back when they were kids, and he's just sitting there just going, crooked politician, I'm gonna end your career. Oh my God. I just keep that up. My God. Mikey will absolutely love every one of those when they're there. I mean, we laughed as much as we did with just him walking around the beach saying what he did. Imagine he's standing in front of all the politicians, all of them, from Miami, and then he walks up to the mayor and goes, but I like you, mayor. The mayor is nice to me. And then he says, oh my God, just Ragu Monkey. I'm sorry. It was a fun weekend for us. Sorry, didn't mean to get sidetracked.
She was just rocked, by the way, by him saying that she threatened to kill this man. I could see it. Maybe she said, "I'll kill you."
I'm hoping that she's got a few receipts also, just to see really where we are with this.
So threatened by that, and that's why I came here. She make all this name calling before that I never take seriously. The last time that on the
Bigfoot.
23rd, when I called, the police came to come and talk to her about my thunder. 2 days later, she went to put a sign on the fence saying that about firearm and next to my fence to intimidate me, to harass me. And I said, I don't, and her husband serving his infantry unit in the US Army and make me concerned for my life. And so.
All right, so you're here primarily because things haven't gone well between the two of you up to this point. And on May 7th,
Yes.
you're saying that she threatened you and said she will kill you.
Yeah, she threatened me. I hate you and I'll kill you. And that is the
Alright.
reason why we're here today.
I mean, that's
Okay.
a bit much, obviously, and also isn't putting a sign up is you're really kind of.
And he said that he's concerned because her husband is in the army and that, he's probably got some pew-pews around the house, Creed.
I would imagine so. Lady Lotus, $5. Thank you.
Dropping it hard.
Kind of like she's doing, since we think that she's in the bathroom, because Mikey said the trees are best in the bathroom.
They are. Just saying.
Have a seat. We're gonna hear from Ms. McMahon. Ms. McMahon, go ahead. What do you have to say?
Would you like me to respond to everything that he just said or to everything in the packet?
Well, I know you submitted a 29-page document. And I did
Okay.
review that.
Oof.
Okay.
So
29,
I'll let you.
29 pages.
29. Yikes.
Okay.
She loves to talk, baby.
I
Just
wonder
a
if that's just her just rambling on word salad, or if it's actually some things that.
Oh, I'm sure it's meticulous nitpicking. Tons of it.
Also, wasn't there a moment in the beginning where he said, she said BS, where he had said that she would say, well, why don't you come over and say something? But he almost seems like he might be a little bit scared of her, and now I think we figured out why.
Yeah.
Hearing,
That's why he's going to other neighbors trying to get maybe some help or a little bit of resolution, perhaps.
also, you guys are right in the chat. I think she's been taking notes, and she's got her pen right there. So we'll see. All right.
Pick and choose. You can have as much time as he did, which was about 12 minutes.
Well, it's gonna take a whole lot longer, but I'm going to address what he just said.
Well, let's start with this, Ms. McMahon.
Okay.
I don't need a long history about what happened in October of last year and so forth. That's water over the dam already. at
It's
this
relevant because he included this in his packet.
It's
Hey,
also
hey, hold on.
water under the bridge, Creed. I
I-
don't know if you've heard
Yeah,
that.
this guy's an idiot. Doesn't he want to make the right saying like a Durango? Nancy, 5 bones, thank you.
That train's already left the bus station.
Or of course, trip down memory lane
Road.
or road.
What's happened recently with the alleged threat on May 7th, that you said you hate him and that you will kill him.
Yes.
Good place
Go
to
ahead.
start, by the way.
Yes. Solid.
Give me a moment. I would like to ask what time I had come outside and allegedly said that to him. Is there a
time?
time and date?
He said the 7th
The
of
date
May.
is May 7th. What time of day? Mr.
Shortly after, 2 friends left that were attacking me with shortly after they drove
Well,
off.
was that at
Was about
noontime?
Griggsy says he's very easy to understand. Did you hear anything that he just said right there in that little sentence?
Yeah, he said, a friend had just left. What does it
About
matter?
about noontime, after
matter?
noontime, after I called, about an hour after I called the police. After Yeah.
That is incorrect.
Oh, burn! She wins now.
Noontime.
Kira, thank you. What did she try to get him
I'm sure the
caught up
guy
on
wasn't
live?
like, oh my God, here it is at 3:30 and she just
Let me-
threatened my life.
Yeah, let me mark it down.
Dear diary.
What part of it's incorrect? That your friends left at noon or that you
No.
came out and threatened them at noon?
Both parts, Your Honor.
Okay, what time did your friends leave?
I have cameras in the front, and they left.
Cameras.
We went in at almost 3:00 p.m.
Big deal.
So they were there until 3:00?
Yes. And me and my son, we have a ring bell as well.
My son.
Actually records us walking into our house at almost 3 p.m.
Okay.
So I would like to know how that happened at noon.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead. What else?
She thinks she's got it. Case
Yeah, she
closed.
think that's the aha moment.
Yeah.
Nate,
Judge is like, big deal.
Yeah.
Move on.
Yes.
Did you see the attitude? I mean, it's an attitude change. Like she just
Like
wants
she's
it.
about to rest her case after that. You know, she's like, nothing further, Your Honor. Yeah, look at me.
Jenny, thank you. We don't provide much chest, happening here, and we have fairly decent mics that aren't completely overmodulated. But other than that,
We appreciate you being here, Jenny. And next time you're in the illustrious Law Talk with Mike section, whisper to the others that you feel like you may be able to convert. We don't need them to quit watching him. We just need them to start watching us. That's all we need.
Jenny, seriously, welcome. Appreciate you being here, and I'm glad you get it and understand. And we had our aha moment right there with this woman who now believes that she has won.
It's you, Ms. McMahon.
okay, so I touched upon my cameras. Let's see. He did say, now is this all pertaining to May? Is that what we're focusing on?
That's what I would like to focus on, yes.
Let's see.
He says that in May, he called the police twice, and then a third incident happened with you coming to the fence while he was working outside, and you said, I hate you, I will kill you.
Correct. So like I said,
Correct.
my cameras record us. Everybody leaving my property around 3:00. When I walked in the house, Mr. Saka went into his house and he left his house shortly after.
Okay. Sometime afternoon. I've got cameras.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Jenny, thank you too much.
Thank you, Jenny. We appreciate it so much. Just don't
Uh,
know.
Listen, with the attitude and with the facial expressions that she had, now that she thinks she won because
Yeah, she was really hyped up on that one thing. She's kind of she's stumbling a little bit now because she doesn't know where to go from here.
By the way, here in the South, if you say like afternoon, dude, that could be anywhere between 12 and 5 to 6 because that's when the evening starts. And by the way, one of the one saying, I understand we are certainly not in the South here. They're in Washington State, much different. But here you say, I'll meet you after lunchtime.
Yeah, anytime after 12. Yeah.
Right. So I mean, it's not that big of a deal, lady.
Left the property altogether, got in his car and drove away?
Yes, he also stated today that he was waiting for contractors. No contractor ever showed up to that house, Your Honor.
Okay.
Okay.
So,
All right.
So that he was contacting them to see if they were going to appear.
Their neighbors, Rick.
Apparently they did not appear that day.
yeah, apparently. Okay, let
Well,
me gather
what
my
about me, though? How does he feel about me?
11.
He doesn't even know Bishop.
Let me just,
Never seen
give
Bishop.
me a moment.
Bastard. Unbelievable.
Trying to find, okay. On May 7th, my son and I were in our front driveway. My son was drawing with his chalk in the driveway. During this time, Mr. Saka went into his car in the driveway and proceeded to stare at us. This went on for 15 to 20 minutes before I went into my garage to grab my lawnmower because I wanted to mow the front lawn. As I was coming out of my garage, I witnessed Mr. Saka with his phone up. I don't know what he was doing, if he was taking pictures of my son or I don't know. I can't tell you. I started to mow the front lawn. All the while he proceeded to stare at me. something happened to my mower and it was making this clanking sound. So I pulled it over, and so Mr. Paul Borison was walking by, who was my neighbor across, and I had flagged him down to come and help me because I don't know anything about lawnmowers. In the meantime, my other neighbor Hans had also come over, and they were trying to help.
Hans and Franz, ladies and gentlemen, for
Hans
the,
is here. So is
Courtney.
Thank you. She sounds kind of catty. I'm not going to lie.
Is there any reason why we're going to go down this whole thing about the lawnmower when we've got 12 minutes? Remember,
He
the
was
judge said
staring
that-
at me, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Staring.
You guys got problems. So what? He's probably videotaping you because you're, you know.
If you were wearing that long frock you got on right now, I'm sure he was. You're like, well, look at this lady. She's over there cutting with that long dress on. Where her man at?
And every K&W cafeteria in America, Griggsy.
During this time, my two friends who run a landscaping and fencing company were already coming over because I had a large tree branch that had fallen from my tree in the front. So they had come over. Mrs. Saka proceeded to continue to stare at us, and this is about an hour into it. And my son also saw him taking photos. And my friend, Sandra DeFeo, who is an employee at the sheriff's office there, told Mr. Saka, I do not consent to you recording or taking pictures of me. He continued anyway. He got out of his car, he put his phone on speaker, and he called the police on us. During this time, we waited for the police to come, but we had
Either
called.
is taking pictures or video outside of your house in public.
I mean,
could be wrong.
and she's name dropping people right and left and giving their testimony.
I mean, again, with the lawnmower, it's almost like she was insinuating that he got in. I believe it was in her garage or shed, because remember she said she had to get it out.
Started making a weird sound,
A clanking sound.
a very strange
So-
clinking.
It was almost like she just threw that out there for us to like be like, I wonder if the neighbor messed with it. He did.
Maybe he did.
That.
Called, and because we had other things to do that day, and we had asked them, hey, is anybody coming out here, because Mr. Saka had said, I'm waiting on the police to us. We called to verify that anybody was coming, and they said no. We had already called him back and told him that nobody is coming out here. So at that time, that was almost 3 p.m. according to my cameras. My friends left, and then me and my son also went back into
My
the house.
son and I.
Mr. Saka went back into his house maybe a minute later, and then he left that property not too soon after. He stated in his police report that my friend had a bulge in his pants. My friend does not carry or own any firearms. Just to
So that means he doesn't have any firearms, and he has a bulge in his pants.
11 soft, Creed. 11 soft.
let you know about
Yeah,
that. as
baby's
well.
arm.
Let's see. According to the police report, the next day, the police report states that Mr. Saka called back with quote unquote more to report, but it does not specify what that was. So I'm not exactly sure. So Mr. Saka stated, I hate you, I will kill you, apparently at noon, which is incorrect. I have a total of 7 witnesses rotating there in that 2-hour time period that can attest that I did not say such a thing. Later on in the statement in his packet here, it says that I threatened him with a weapon. In the police report that he provided, it says, it doesn't say anything about a weapon, so I'm a little confused about that, since I do not own a firearm or carry a firearm. He also states he believed death or serious physical harm could occur within a short time in this protection
Spit it
order
out,
on
Junior.
page 4. Yet this was not stated to the police when he called, nor did he stop staring at us or leave the premises when the cops had told him to 3 times. He did not call 911, and let it be known that Mr. Saka filed this order on May 26th. This occurred on May 7th, I believe. So that's 19 days in between. So if there was serious immediate harm or irreparable injury that could be caused immediately, why did it take 19 days to file this protection order? Let's see.
She's losing it.
I believe that
Yes.
Mr. Saka has also stated in his packet, page 1 of the written statement, that the respondent conduct is escalating while, quote, annoys, harasses, alarms, and serves no lawful or legitimate purpose. Such wording is seen on the district court's website under protection orders, word for word. I don't know if that is completely relevant.
No, not at all. But what about this dog shit? Can we get to that? Are you
On the
denying
same
it?
page,
I
9
thought
of
that was the pillar of the entire
Yeah,
thing.
that was one of the first things.
Yeah, like breezing over it. Troyalty Podcast, 11 months a member. Terminator for the heads up.
Thank you.
Is she just kind of spouting off about stupid stuff that really is?
I have 7 witnesses that are in a rotating fashion. What should people just?
I know sheriff's
coming through the
employee, as
house.
somebody said in the chat, dropping names. I mean, Lawnmower was lawnmowers do that, by the way, just out of nowhere.
Especially mine.
How about the fence? The fence and the poop, please.
The petition for protection, Mr. Saka writes, the respondent could have carried out the threatened action. I believe he's referring to a firearm that does not exist. I'm not exactly clear on that. The respondent communicated directly her intent to kill. This petitioner reported
Keeps
the
going back to
threat
that.
to the Lacey police, but none of that is in the police report provided here. So per the report, Mr. Saka provided his statements made on the 26th do not match what the police have in his report from the 7th. The discrepancies garners further look into these claims.
She's talking to herself or to
And this
the
is
court?
all I have for May 7th, I believe.
All right, let me ask you a question.
Absolutely.
This issue of the dog waste.
There we go.
I know there was a letter that was.
I hope you're kidding.
No, you know Griggsy's not. Griggsy always takes that weird stance. Come on, man. It's Griggsy. Of course he's going to
I like the weird stances. I think she's doing terrible. I mean, she hasn't rebutted anything that he said.
No,
right?
she's just fumbled around this killing thing, but not once have I heard her say, Your Honor, I have never, ever spoken to this man in that manner. I have never made any reference to killing him. I do not own a gun. I will never, ever doing these things. He is making assumptions, but he does act really weird, stares at me and my kids. That's the biggest problem I'm having with him.
Right.
And he's going around spreading rumors about me to the other neighbors when they turn around and run right back to me and tell me, bunch of busybodies.
And she felt that, it took a long time for him with that order. You could throw that in there really quick and we're done. And we're on to the next part. I don't know. But like you said in the beginning of this, it's good. We hold off and we hear the whole thing and we figure it out.
That came from the city of Lacey about that. Did they come to the property and look at it? Or did they just say you have an obligation not to collect dog waste on your property?
Nobody came to my house. I work from home. I'm here all day. Nobody came to my property.
Podcast.
So they just sent you they just sent you a letter saying
Apparently.
you can't do this.
Yes, but the letter, I did not receive that letter.
I'll give you that. That's very true. That's
Okay,
very-
so we finally got to the dog poop issue. The city did send her a letter telling her, she says apparently they did. Obviously they did. They said the city even said they sent her a letter saying that she needed to do something about the massive amount of dog poopings going on right there on the properties.
Can there really be that much? I mean, my dog goes, I think, like 20.
I don't know. I don't know how big her dog is. Could be
By the way,
massive.
leather and lashes. Good luck with the smoke. I hope it gets better. The people, the pictures that I've seen, like I said, even today, and how hazy it is, almost looks like a blood moon. The sun looks crazy. Oh, that would bother me so bad. I would actually have to have a mask.
Oh, it gets in your house too.
Oh, I couldn't. Oh, couldn't do it.
And that was in January. Yeah. And I spoke with the code enforcement officer directly last week about the letter, and he said that it wasn't a fake because it looked kind of fake and weird because it didn't have a phone number or an email address or anything. So I spoke to him directly. He said that he did not receive a receipt because it was a certified letter. So that means I did not receive it. So I do not know what happened to that letter. I don't know.
But he acknowledged that he sent the letter.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Anything else you want to tell me about May 7th?
Oh, give me a moment.
He's being very patient with her so far. I'll give him that.
I wouldn't want to live next door to her. I'm just going to say that.
No.
She's very busybody.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like neighbors you never talk to, never meet, and never have to talk to them, and
that's the best.
just give each other the little nod every once in a while.
That's pretty much where we're at. Every once in a while, we have to have a little conversation, but other than that, everybody stays out of their own.
Actually, I would like to speak about the accusation of the firearm. I'm just trying to find my page here. Page 11.
Out of 29 pages.
She's got an index on that bitch.
Also, he's the only one that showed up with some pictures and some evidence so far. Hers is just hearsay,
I
basically.
cannot number my pages. Give me just a moment here.
Oh, take your time. We got all the time in the world. Don't forget Wild Woman Wednesday on We Got to Chase today.
Well, we got some interesting stuff. Something that may trigger some of you. A pregnant woman running from the law, and she has a great reason why she didn't want to stop right away. All that and more.
Oh,
I apologize.
Wild Woman Wednesday.
While she's fumbling
Well, let
around.
me ask you, did you add that sign to the fence or had it always been there?
That was there since the end of January, Your Honor. And I provided the receipt from when I purchased it in the packet there.
And what was your intent at the time of putting that sign up?
Because my son and I were playing in our backyard, and we witnessed Mr. Saka staring at us through that side yard there. So I wanted to put up some privacy on that side. And since my husband is overseas, and it's only me and my son, I believe that I put it up to protect us, to protect my home and my property.
I was sleeping, so I don't know, Reno.
Yeah, she tore her tires off and they pitted her. Look, I'm gonna play devil's advocate just for a second.
Yeah.
Her husband's not home. She's probably a little scared, a little paranoid. She's having to be by herself and whatnot.
Ace of base, by the way.
Yes, absolutely. Do you think? I'm not saying this lady's a racist. If it would have been anyone other with a lighter skin tone next door, we'll say, that she would not have been upset. Oh, Craigsy, didn't you just say she was doing a good job? Now you come in and say she's a crazy racist? I'm not saying this lady's racist. Absolutely not. But I'm saying, does that make her think that this man may be dangerous or up to no good? He's obviously a foreigner to her.
I haven't really shown where he's been.
He seems like a normal dude, just trying to fix up his property so he
Yeah,
can move
it
in.
sounds
He
like
can't even
he
live
had-
there.
It sounds like he had a couple of small issues with her, right? And I have a feeling that he brought up a few small issues with her, and that became a gigantic thing. And now all of a sudden, it's
With him wanting to cut their tree that was overhanging into his property and things like that. I mean, slightly triggered her, maybe. I'm not saying it was because of his race so much, but
Could be though.
could be. I mean, stranger things have happened. And does she wear that for religious reasons, by the way, that dress?
All right. Mr. Saka, do you have anything you want to say in response to what
Yes, Your Honor.
Ms. McMahon said?
To start with, about the gun display was after 2 days after I called the police when she put that sign down there. Your Honor.
Incorrect.
2 days after she.
Incorrect.
When police came on January 23.
Do it right,
That's when she
lady.
put that sign there shortly, but she only put that sign on my side of the property. She has another neighbor next to her, the house next to her. There is no sign like that down there, you know. That's number one. Number two, about the police report procedure, you know, Lacey Police Department takes almost forever to get police report. After the incident, I went to them to talk to them. They said, wait a while before we can get it to you. That's why it takes me a long time before I file a report. About the time frame, she said, I don't know the exact time. When Your Honor said noon, I'll just approximately about noon. But she made that comment to me. She know, and God knows
Wow.
in her own mind that she made that comment. I don't expect her to say I did that. I don't expect her to say that. I know she's gonna deny it. You know, with all this coming to my property and attack me verbally, attacking me, coming with in my property, making fun of my accent. I have a picture of her in front of my property. Yeah, you know, coming to attack me and calling me names and follow me across the street to somebody else's property. That is not proper, you know. That is not. I need to protect myself from this person. I need the others to prevent her from doing any act like this in the future. Coming to my property or follow me to Mr. Borison's house and coming to molest me and harass me. And when I'm talking to the neighbors, I need something to protect myself from this woman. I talked to her husband when I first bought the house. She told me she served in the infantry unit at the U.S. Army, at the Striker Brigade, and you know, I've seen a sign of weapon in their house.
You have seen what?
I've seen what do you call this? Case of weapon stuff in their windows in their house along that property. They have a window facing my property side. It's like a window like this, you know, just they have a case. You can see it from the outside.
Thank you for translating that. I was confused.
He is slightly too, but I mean, it's if she's making fun of his accent. As a Southern gentleman, I too have suffered this atrocity, and it is not nice. Those of us with beautiful, sweet, seductive accents having to deal with bigot hating like this lady.
Seems like a nice guy, and he seems reasonable to me.
He does. He seems
so
like a
far.
fine guy, to be completely honest. That's just the side I'm taking. Don't tell me because I hate women, but he seems like a nice guy. He doesn't seem like he's causing problems.
I don't think he'd be that tough to live next to. Her, on the other hand, at this point, I kind of think I gotta go check the traffic very quickly. I'll be okay.
Go ahead.
They have a case shell of a firearm display on the.
All right, so let me ask you, have you ever seen a firearm other than in that safe, gun safe?
No, I have not
Gun
seen it.
safe?
There's never a firearm. She never showed you a firearm.
She never did. But
All right.
based upon that,
Did she ever threaten you with a firearm?
yes, she does. She
She
does.
threatened you with a
She said,
firearm?
I'll kill you. I'll kill you, Your Honor. And with a poster like this on the fence, he just it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that somebody's gonna kill you. He's probably gonna use a gun that she display on the fence to kill you, Your Honor. And the
Ooh.
husband served in the infantry unit and the U.S. Army. And I know, for God knows, they have a weapon in their house. I know they have a weapon.
But you haven't seen a
I
weapon.
haven't seen. I see
Right.
the display
And
of.
they didn't threaten you with it. She did not threaten you with a weapon. When she allegedly said to you, "I hate you and I will kill you," she wasn't holding a weapon in her hand.
No, she's not.
No. Okay.
That's incorrect.
What's that mean?
He stated in his packet, I was holding a weapon in the protection packet there.
He hasn't testified to that here today.
It's in the
And
packet.
in fact, he testified that he didn't see a weapon and that you weren't possessing a weapon.
Interesting. Okay.
Hey.
I do not have a gun safe. I'm sorry. I didn't catch that about a gun safe. Could you repeat that?
Well, I called it a gun safe. He said he saw a cabinet through a window that has guns in it in your
Oh, a
home.
window. How? How do you, where?
I don't know. He
Any
just said
window.
he saw through a window a cabinet that had guns in it.
On the
See
side of my
display-
house?
Display case on the wall. If you have a window like this, you know, through the house. On
What?
one, the window is so lower, when you walk down there, you can see
All right. So did you see guns in the case?
no, I didn't see the gun,
What?
but I have a display of a gun, a rifle.
A what?
Rifle on a shelf. The display of a rifle on the shelf when you walk down along that property line. Yeah, you have a window.
He's losing me a little bit, Dave.
I understand what you're saying.
Yes,
Your Honor?
He's saying, Ms. McMahon, he saw a gun on a shelf through a window along the property line.
I can go ahead.
Is that
and take you
possible?
Down there right now. No, I can go ahead and take you down there right now.
Did you ever have a gun there?
No, Your Honor. That is extremely confusing because all the curtains are closed downstairs because we never go down there. And the room he might be
never
talking
go
about,
down
I'm
there.
not sure, is
Well, that took a turn while I ran. I was, by the way, Emily, back in the doctors again today, and I thought there was a missed call from her, so I wanted to run out and double check. And I picked a
he
terrible
kinda-
time to leave.
He kind of lost me a little bit, Creed. Not that I didn't understand what he was saying, but
Right.
why didn't we talk about her? He said she had a rifle in her hand at some point, but just earlier we said she never had like it out. Like, I don't know. He's kind of lost me, confused me a little bit.
I agree. And it does not, it doesn't look, it's not a good look on him now that he's talking about walking the property line and looking in their windows to the point where he thinks that he sees a rifle of some sort.
Yeah, I will say this. This lady, if anything, she keeps her blinds tight. She does not want this man looking into her house at anything.
Well, I don't think anybody really feels comfortable with that.
See, I like keeping my blinds tight, and people come over to my house and like, your house is dark as a dungeon. And I'm like, whoa, easy. How many dungeons you been in?
I just, this part, I'm kind of losing a little bit of.
He's losing me a little bit. Just saying.
Just
Losing me a
little
little
bit.
bit.
And I get what you guys are saying about military, army. I mean, typically
Every
you
military
would.
person I know has pew-pews. They
Yeah.
enjoy them. They like them. They keep them for home defense.
I got to agree with a couple of you that have said, about her. And I mentioned this earlier too, where I think that she gets extremely defensive very quickly if you bring her up. If you kind of call her out, if you will, on even the smallest things. I can see her going above and beyond to get back. But one other really quick thing while I was gone. What do you think about her reaction? Did it feel genuine to you when you first saw it? The whole, is she
She's
being
over
an
the
actress?
top. I mean, she's acting a little bit. Come on.
It does seem a little bit over the top.
She is nervous because she's in court, maybe lying. That'd make me nervous too. Allegedly.
I'm still not saying that she did a good job, Griggs. But I'm saying that he did a bad job there for a minute.
Yeah, he's
No, but seriously, listen. We give Griggsy some crap and a few others. I love one thing about with us, and thank you Lisa. I appreciate it. She's limping like crazy. I feel bad. We're missing so much work. It's not even funny. It's getting scary. On another side note, though, with this, I appreciate you guys. Please, even if we give you a little bit of crap, say what you will, say your feelings, and I hope that you can feel comfortable in the chat saying that, even if we give you a little bit of crap once in a while. I don't see
And know that
anything
we're
wrong with that.
just having fun. We're just joking.
We are, and keep that in mind. And I don't want you to ever stop being you, especially you, Raggle Monkey, especially you.
Our guest room, and that's where we kept our kitty litter box, and there's a dresser down there. That's about it, Your Honor. We don't have anything. I can take you down there.
Okay,
I'm
that's
looking
fine.
right now.
Let's kind of recount what we've heard here.
Gosh.
Mr. Saka, I agree with you that this is a difficult situation. That if all what you say is true, it must be unpleasant for you to have to be present when you're there.
Wow.
Am I correct? You're not living in the house right now.
Yes, the house is still.
And you've owned the house for how long?
Over a year, and I couldn't find money to fix everything that needs to be fixed to be habitable.
And so where do you live otherwise?
I'm staying with my wife in Puyallup right now.
Puyallup, okay. How often are you at this residence?
I'm almost there every other day, every.
That's incorrect.
Come on, lady. It's not your
So-
time to talk.
I agree, Mr. Saka, and I guess with you as well, Ms. McMahon, based on your written response, that this is a difficult and unpleasant situation. That doesn't make it at all easy for the court to be involved in this, trying to tell one party or the other to back off and to be more respectful of the other party. It sounds as if both of you at times have had difficulty being respectful of the other party. There is a concern on Ms. McMahon's part that you're taking photos of her and her son and you're staring at them for some reason. I hear from you, Mr. Saka, that you're concerned about this dog waste issue and other things of that nature. And then, of course, this threat that you're saying she made to you that she's going to kill you and that she put a sign on the fence that leads you to believe that she may have a gun and that she may be planning to use a gun or thinking about using a gun or something with a gun that could affect you. Ms. McMahon raises a good point. If this allegedly occurred on May 7th, why did you wait until May 26th to file the order?
Due to the police report, I came to file anti-harassment order in January, and they told me that I need the police report to support.
I think this all started with the poop, really. We made jokes about it, but I think that's kind of where it started with that or the tree, something like that. Like he went to her, and I believe nicely.
Because he said at
it.
first that he talked to the husband. The husband was still home when all this started about the tree.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And then he's like, then I found out by law, I'm allowed to trim the tree. So, I mean, maybe he got off on the wrong foot. It only takes one little thing to throw off a relationship. I mean, it really does. You can't come back sometimes.
And again, I just see her, the way that she dismisses him so quickly 2 different times now. She just did it again a second ago, and she did it with the time thing, which is so stupid. Even the judge just went right by that. Again, that just leads me to believe that you say just the tiniest thing to her, and it sets her off, and that's what I'm thinking. Lath?
Hey,
I don't know. It's
see it,
sad.
oh, cheeky baby. Cheeky
And she's
baby.
my claim. So that was why it takes. I went to the police department shortly after the incident. They told me it's going to take a while for them to prepare the report. That's why it takes so long to file the paperwork. In addition to that, Your Honor, this respondent repeatedly come to my property and attack me. That is trespassing down there. I need some order that will prevent her from coming to my property, at least. so she doesn't come to my property. I have a picture in here among the evidence I submitted.
I saw you said that she was on your property.
Coming, videotaping me, calling me, name calling, making fun of my accent and all that stuff.
That's my point, Mr. Saka. If what you're saying is correct, she's being disrespectful of you. If some of the things that she said in her response that you've done are indications that you're being disrespectful of her, that something to the effect that you will not deal with a woman. Now, I don't know if that's so or not. We don't have testimony from third parties that are independent, that have nothing to do with you or her. What I have is you saying she did it. I have her saying she didn't do it. I don't have a basis to enter an order at this point. What I can say is the two of you are setting the table for each other here to get in more trouble. You both need to back off of this issue. I don't know what happened with your fence. You say it was vandalized. Ms. McMahon says the wind blew it down on a couple of instances. She even submits documents showing what the wind speed was on those particular dates and times.
Nice.
You say she did it around noontime, made the threat. She says her friends were there until 3, and then you left shortly after that, and she never saw you again that day. I can't find a basis where she said she made an individual threat to you that she had the intent or the likelihood to be able to carry out that would put you at this risk of distress. Again, waiting 19 days for a police report to come, which I don't think verifies what you're saying, that she threatened you, that she was going to kill you. The purpose of this court and this proceeding is that if a threat like that is made, you can come here right away. You don't have to wait for the police on something like that.
Listen, I didn't know that, I was told I need to bring all the evidence, I need to substantiate it.
Yeah, but the police report doesn't say that. The police report didn't see it. There's no independent witness to verify it. It's your testimony essentially against her testimony at this point. We have all this other extraneous stuff about the fence and about the dog waste and who's talking to Mr. Borison and who isn't talking to Mr. Borison and all of that. What I can say to you is, to both of you, is to back off. Mr. Saka, you come and work on your property. You have your contractors come and finish that property. If you need to trim the trees, apparently you have permission from McMahon's to do that. Ms. McMahon, I have to suggest that you might be a little sensitive about him and his phone, whether he's taking pictures or what he's doing with that, or him staring at you under whatever the circumstances might be. But I don't have a basis at this point to enter the order that you're asking for, Mr. Saka. I simply don't. It's conflicting testimony, no independent witness to testify one way or the other as to what happened. Just too much of a gap between what is being said and what is being admitted, what is being denied. So at this point, Mr. Saka, I'm going to deny your request. That does not mean that you can't come back again at a later time if something else happens. If you can get somebody to independently verify it. If Mr. Borison hears her threaten you, then get Mr. Borison to come in and testify to that effect or write a declaration to that effect. But at this point, we don't have that. We have two neighbors who are, for whatever reason, unable to be neighborly to each other. And that needs to be changed because the two of you presumably are going to live there for a while and be neighbors. I'm sorry, Mr. Saka. I'm sure you don't like that response because I denied your request. Ms. McMahon, you probably don't like it that I'm telling you, you need to be more respectful. But that's what I see when I read these documents. And there are lots of documents filed by each of you in relation to this. The police aren't the answer. for things like dog waste and alleged threats over the back fence and so on and so forth. It's difficult under the circumstances for the police to be able to establish enough evidence for probable cause to arrest somebody.
That's a civil matter. They're
Um,
going to say that's a civil matter.
Putting an order in place at this point will increase the risk that somebody's going to get charged with a criminal offense. And that's not necessarily the case here. I don't think any of this behavior rises to the level of a criminal offense. So
The old dependus.
that's my ruling. That's my decision. I'm going to sign an order saying that the order is denied at this point.
Well, that's it.
I-
Simple as that.
I got to say, I think you got it right.
It's a push,
Really do.
Creed, a push, a draw, a
Denied.
denial. Yeah, absolutely. Look, if any, like he said, if any of the stuff you're telling me is true, she's a nightmare.
Right.
If you're telling me the truth about the things he's doing or whatever, okay. It doesn't seem like he was really doing anything all that bad. I mean, you can't control people taking pictures or recording and knowing. I mean, if you're not doing anything outrageous, what does it matter? If you're walking around in that long ass frock, I
To an
mean,
extent, too, you know, if he had any idea that she was going to, or either of them were going to end up in court at some point.
he was
it
trying to
almost-
catch her doing something or saying something to him.
Sure. I mean, but again, I want to go back to, like I said earlier, neither of them, they both threw out a lot of, things that were supposedly allegedly going on.
Mhm.
Neither of them really corroborated each other's story or even really knocked it down that good. Again, I didn't hear her say much at all about the poop. Really anything about that. I don't know. I agree with him on that. There's just not enough there that shows. And by the way, and seriously, if the police did show up, they're going to say it's a civil matter.
Mhm.
There's no arrest for any of that.
No.
You know,
He would have to catch her with the pew pew in her hand, threatening violence.
what
against
do you think about that? Do you see her out waving around the pew pew? Because I don't know.
I mean, I don't believe her that they don't have any in her home. I mean, I
not
live in a
even a
military.
shotgun?
I live in a military town. I've had nothing but military neighbors for the last 30 years of adulthood, and they've all had firearms. They've all, been kind of in that gun culture and home defense and stuff like that. So I don't believe that they don't have anything in their house. Nothing.
I also don't
Um,
think she'd be out there waving it around saying, I'm going to kill you either, though.
No, I think she's smarter than that.
Yeah.
It's all kind of sus, as they say.
I guess I could see her maybe when he was talking about there being an alleged shotgun,
Through the
like
window.
I was thinking of some sort of display of
Yeah.
something that maybe looks like that or is. I guess I could see that, but she didn't mention anything. She said
Like
she'd take it
military
down.
paraphernalia of some sort.
Yeah,
This was
yeah.
the gun
Yeah.
stormed Iwo Jima with.
Right. Anyways, I think the judge got it right on that one. Good luck with them. They need a very, very large fence between the two of them and everything.
They
that goes
do.
on,
They really do.
you know. All right.
This is a good point right here. If for some reason she did think he was recording, she could have just inadvertently been like, if you're recording us, I will kill you. My child.
You could have. She could have been mad enough and threw that out there or something
Yeah.
along the lines of that too. But
Paranoia make you do a lot of things, Creed.
well, that's a good point. And she still rubbed me the wrong way from the beginning, especially when she first started with the
All the
time.
faces.
Come on. I mean, she really did. It made it sound like she thought that she'd won at that moment, and that was it.
Mhm.
Today, the JoJo Express, aka the Monetary Monorail, Al Goffer, Leaser, Donna, Amazon Girl, Gary, Lady Lotus, Nancy, Kiernoff, Jenny, Courtney, and Lasha.
Denied.
No, that is not denied. That was a misclick by Creed.
That's all right. Guys in the truck, get it together.
Get it right, would you?
I like that we're both wearing blue shirts and fictional animals.
Nice.
You got the Bucky, and I got the Crash Bandicoot. We're both kids, just big ass kids.
You
We
guys
love you
seem so
guys.
childish. Yeah, that's it.
Somebody's comment yesterday was, "You guys remind me of 12-year-olds," and that's why I love this channel.
Nice.
You guys will be back at 4:05 for We Gotta Chase Wild Women Wednesday. These are all women committing crimes and maybe even doing a little tiny bit of time. So we see people don't go do time for anything ever. Bucky, the Bonesy is pretty damn cool.
We're both in the Carolinas. One
I'm
in the
in-
north, one in
I'm
the
the
south.
top, he's the bottom.
Mikey did always say he was a power top.
We love you guys. We'll be back. Make sure you like this video if you haven't done so already. If you're new here, subscribe, leave a comment. Tell us how much you love us or hate us. We'll take either one. It helps the algorithm. Either way, don't read it. It just says, hey, these guys are popular. And never forget the greatest judge.
Good afternoon. I'm District Judge Herman Marable from 67th District Court here in Flint.
You guys take care. Top Guys out.
Do you notice how sticky these things keep jumping on me? Guys, that's why you've seen like
That happened
so much,
to me.
it's
Yeah.
so annoying when I'm displaying comments. It just keeps jumping.
It was doing that last night while I was
Ugh.
trying to get people into monetary monorail, and it just I was basically just showing people